Okay, here we are. It's another week, and we've got the crew together. Mr. Moreno Valley, Derek Terrell, Mad, Mighty Max, and right-winger extraordinaire Sean Fortine. And Sean's going to drop a lot of knowledge on us, and everybody, it's great to have you guys. It's 2017. We are going to be doing a lot of great things, and let's just kick it off and get into it. So, Daryl, how you been doing for the year? What did you do to start the year off?
Well, I attended a funeral for
I'm sorry to hear that.
Supervisor John Burnett.
Yes, right. That's right.
It was a beautiful ceremony, and you learn a lot about him as far as some of the things he's done to fight for mental health and substance abuse down in the desert area, and some of the things that he built bridges to give people hope and bring a medical service, that was a very interesting thing, because down there, like in Mecca and the Coachella Valley, they were lacking a lot of the medical facilities, and he was instrumental in bringing those facilities down there, because a lot of folks were on drugs, or they had some kind of issues they were facing. So he fought a lot to restore the Salton Sea,
right?
And so it was very touching. I mean, it was a lot of big shots down there, of course.
Well, the funny thing is, a lot of people are falling off. 2016, I mean, there was a record high of celebrities and people that just died out of nowhere. So, right wing Sean, hey, I got some good news for you though. My mom brought my shotgun in. She's had my shotgun for 16 years. Yeah. Of course, it's a little rusty and stuff down there, but I got to clean it up. But I got my shotgun and some other guns I have I don't want to talk about. But my mom brought my shotgun because it's registered to me. And I felt that since it's registered to me, in case she kills anybody, I don't want the gun traced back to me under the federal laws, whatever it is. So 2017 is here. What do you got going?
I've been being pissed off at traffic fits in really well for today.
Okay.
I was going to talk about some LA Times articles from 1985 and 1986 and how they're relevant today. Back then, people had to put up with long commutes, inadequate public services, poor planning, and other problems. And nothing's
changed, huh? Yeah. If anything, it's worse.
Roads are congested, sometimes dangerous because there are not yet enough traffic signals. Well, now we have plenty of those, but it hasn't helped. And some rural speed limits have not been changed to reflect the increased population. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I think the rural speed limits would be best. But anyways, there's... back then, the city manager of the city said this can't last forever, and the way they were developing things, and he was right, and nobody took anybody's warning on that.
So wait, just hold that thought. So, Mighty Max.
Hey!
You're the energy of the show.
What's up?
Don't want to put you on the spot or anything like that. How has 2017 been going on? By the way, when we did our show last week, it was just me and you.
Yes.
By the way, after the show, Max went out of here like a bat out of hell. She went out of here like a bat out of hell. But anyway, we know you have things in the works and in the can and things like that.
I did not get the Delta job.
Unfortunately, but don't.
I already felt negative that when I had left.
You never know. So sometimes it's a bad. Sometimes you get a bad vibe, sometimes you get a good vibe. So you never know. But the thing is, I'm gonna give you some advice. Don't stop. Don't do that. Yeah. But here's the funny thing. When me and Max did the show, Max was talking about what a lot of young people talk about, especially a lot of young ladies. We did the show live, and the numbers were astronomical. I don't know if it was because you were cursing or you were getting kind of graphic, right? But there was over 5,000 people that were listening live. Right now, the numbers are going. We have right now about 800 people listening.
Hi guys.
And so I don't want you to get discouraged about that.
No,
and stuff like that. So you're going to be with us a little longer. That's what you're saying.
Yes, I'm definitely. And if you have a job for your girl, send it over.
I told you I'm looking for a sugar mama. I mean,
Donovan,
sugar baby. Go on.
Donovan, look, I have a price. Some people will be like, "Oh no, I can't be." No, I have a price.
Well, okay. Well, after I go to Vegas, make some money, I will be back. Okay. So.
But 2017 is great. I actually just started local workouts in the Moreno Valley area.
Yes, right? I saw that on the page.
Yes, so Tuesday mornings at 9:25 at Towngate Memorial Park, and Wednesday nights right after the show at 5:55 p.m.
Right. Now, when you're done with those works, you can come back over.
And come back all sweaty.
Yeah.
I sweat sweet sweat.
Right. There you go. There you go. So, gosh, we have a lot to get to. Max is kind of, her mind is racing 1,000 miles because, in her relationship, like we were talking about last week, you're writing some stuff down, which is great. We're not going to give that away. It's a good blog thing like
last
that.
2 weeks, I've been wondering how much coffee you drink.
I don't drink any coffee. I drink Herbalife tea.
Right. I just sent you the link on Facebook.
Yeah, actually, I think I got it.
Yeah, I just sent you that link.
And you can watch me watch behind the scenes footage on my Snapchat.
Yes.
I want to get ratchet. I was so sick. It was before I was like, a good girl. It's like my hidden spice. But IWANARATCHET. I want to get ratchet.
Okay, great. And if everybody's been watching on the show, we kept saying we're going to do great things in 2017, and we've been sending out teasers with Pastor Don. As you saw that he's going to have his show, and we're going to do little videos. Not everybody wants to do video, but we still got the radio show. We haven't given that up. This is our core thing. We're going to still do the radio and get the information out there. So, Sean, back to you. You kept that thought. Take us to where you want to go.
Well, I'm sure everyone is either blind or pissed off with traffic, one or the other. But I'm just frustrated with the lack of planning and the lack of city council's willingness to do anything about it. Back then, in 1984, around then, the city was bringing in $1.7 million more in taxes than the county, but I don't know. Today we don't have a lot of community services. We certainly don't have a big enough police force. In fact, part of the problems we have back in the 80s and even now is that the criminals were able to scout out the city and find out how many cops are patrolling the streets before they set up business here. And so maybe we don't publicize the numbers on the show, but a lot of criminals know what's up, and that's not helping.
Right. So, we got Victoria Baca and Gutierrez, who we need jobs.
You're such a
okay, so when are they going to restore the police budget is basically what you're trying to say.
Yeah, and quite frankly, due to the small police force we have, often Sheriff Sniff can do better in some of even the tweaker areas than Reno Valley does in its crime statistics.
Did you say tweaker?
Yeah.
Drug-filled areas?
Yes.
Like the unincorporated county areas. Sheriff Sniff is able to do more in getting keeping those areas levels of crime down than our city council is doing here. Right.
And everybody is aware at any given time there is no more than 15 police officers patrolling a city of 208,000 people. And we are 20% of the county budget when it comes to the police force. That's our contract with them. We're 20% of it. And now that we are in physical monetary shape, which is where I want to allude to and I want to go to, Mr. Moreno Valley, Darrell Terrell, how do you feel, because I posted it today, where they officially said that we are in good shape. We are one of the most economically budgeted
because
cities.
Of the warehouses.
No, that's not it.
The city council hasn't got around to screwing that up yet.
Yeah, not yet. But so with that, what are your thoughts on that? Should the people of District 4, since we've got the money now, shouldn't they be allowed to elect their own leaders over there?
I always say they should elect them anyway because the fact they deserve to elect the one that's going to represent them, and we have the money. Again, we have $37.5 million in the undesignated reserve in the general fund reserve account that we can use some of it to give folks a chance to vote for their elected official. And I think it needs to head that way because, just like you said before, it said we're in great great
Financial
fiscal
self, right?
Yeah. So there's no excuse for it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excuse. Give the people a chance to elect their person to represent them.
$37 million, that would be enough to build a big community center with a city-owned library and public pool and park and all that, and still have money to fix the light system that I was going to talk about too, and maybe even help Canyon Springs get a stadium.
Right.
Well, here's another thing. I'm sitting here thinking, just like you were talking about earlier, again about the financial health report that people are shouting about. Then why do we even need the hotel tax to be increased? Even though we're not paying for it, but the people who use it. But at the same time, it reminds me what happened in 1996, where we were told about the utility tax. If we didn't pass it, the city will fall apart and we'll be dire straits. Then all of a sudden,
they said that we wouldn't be able to have emergency services or police or anything like that anymore, and that was a total lie. They took the money and
diverted the funds,
and they never put it towards emergency services.
Right.
Well, that's the thing about it. See, you have 13. Then the president, the day after, I remember this article, $13.7 million surplus, and people said, then why did we need this utility tax if you had this big gigantic surplus? So if you look at why we have this hotel tax, and this report says we're in good shape, then why did we need the hotel tax to be raised?
That's a good question.
And that's something that's been bothering me, because I went down to the city to talk about streets. I was familiar more about streets, but I came across this, and it said fiscal. If you read the ordinance, it says Financial Oversight Committee. Now, on this committee. Now, I just find out it's under the finance subcommittee. Okay. But the thing is, though, it should be residents. Now, if we're going to put police on the street and we're going to make a project done, we think that the residents should be part of this oversight committee.
Right.
Because it didn't say, it said city council will appoint individuals. It didn't say who, but I think the people should be part of it. So you can decide how you want that money to be spent. I don't think it should be left up to a subcommittee in the city council. It should be represent people in the residents of the city should.
Absolutely. And if you're watching this live video feed, we are on
I knew he was on Facebook
the
Live.
radio. We are also on the radio, and of course, Max, we got to get the message out. You know how we do that. But if you're watching this feed, please tune in, and we are live, so you can go to Spreaker.com and just add to the link. And you're not going to see me much on here, but you can hear my voice.
I'm going to take the camera and I'll put you on there.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, you know what you can do? You can always, back and forth. But real quick, I just ended it. Real quick, we are going to be doing big things. And, not only are you guys going to see us talk about the problems and the issues going on in Inland Empire, we're going to be talking about a lot of things. We're going to be hitting a lot of things. And this show is based on the Young Turks because people are tired of this repetitive news. Now, let me talk about something a little bit different. Last night, the NAACP hosted a Mark Takano report of what's going on in the city, in Washington. And of course, young people are not interested right now at that age. And Daryl, Sean, we were in our 20s, we weren't really interested in that stuff. However, so these older people are there, these old handkerchief head type people are there. And they're asking the same questions. And remember, I always told you guys that the baby boomers, they don't really give a damn about anybody behind them, because a lot of the questions that were asked was, well, what about the ACA? And what about the marijuana tax? I mean, these are questions, and it's really sad because it goes to show you that people do not know how government works. Mark Takano has nothing to do with the marijuana initiative that recently passed. If you want to know the answer to that, you need to go to what? Your state assembly member. That's where you go to get that information. Mark Takano doesn't really deal with that. He's on a different level of federal bills and things like that trickles down later on. That's the things in. So these handkerchief.
He was reelected.
Yeah, and that goes to show you. Well, the fixes in the Democratic Party. I mean, this goes back to what I was telling everybody. You got to understand how government works. And unfortunately, a lot of people, they don't understand how government works. So this guy spends over an hour resuscitating the same questions over and over again. And guess who shows up late and then wants to ask 3 or 4 questions? Just take a wild guess.
Gutierrez.
He doesn't show up for anything. It has to be like, Denise
I
Fleming!
knew you were going to say that.
Denise Fleming showed up late. Black person, late. And then she wants to take over the whole meeting.
I would have figured that Gutierrez would at least show up to rub elbows with Congress.
Well, the thing is, they're all the same people. So he's in the same group because Mark Takano is supported by the United Democrats, which is Victoria Baca and Gutierrez and the Goon Squad and all those other people. These congressmen, they'll take money from anybody. They don't care. So Denise Fleming shows up and want to ask a question because right now they are trying so hard. Now, remember, Mark Takano showed up at a Denise Fleming event, the Black Family Affair, barbecue, bullcrap, blah, blah, blah. So they're all part of the same mix of people. See, so they're telling us who our leaders are or whatever the deal is. They're going to try so hard to get her elected to something. Because, she's putting that narrative out. Well, I don't want to be on the school board anymore because I've done such a great job that after 4 years, there's nothing else I can do. Am I correct, Daryl? She made a statement similar to that?
Yeah, similar to that.
That throws up big red flags to me, the narcissistic personality disorder, that you make everything about her. And those people can sound really good when they're trying to get into a job position. They tend to have a toxic effect in the work environment wherever they're at.
Right. Absolutely. And I just want everybody to know, it is no secret to me as a political analyst. If you look at her shenanigans, she's convinced after 17,000 votes, which if you look at a city of 200,000, that isn't a lot of votes. She got less than, 9% of the vote, population-wise. Now, out of all the people who actually are registered to vote.
I was going to say, how many people actually vote?
Well, it seems like, with the exception of Carrie Finn, it seems like all the Democrats in the city seem to think they're the next president.
Oh, my God. It's just totally ridiculous. But mark my words, mark this day, January 18th, 2017, Denise Fleming is staying in campaign mode because she is going to run for mayor. There is no doubt in my mind.
Did she just run for mayor?
Yeah, she got her ass beat. Well, she came in second, but they threw her some extra votes because, Ito, I can't wait to spread my cheeks and just do whatever you like me to do because I can't wait to work with you. Because I'm Denise Fleming, I'm from Chicago.
I hate you so much.
But that's what's going on, and we've been sounding the alarm on this time and time again. These handkerchief head people need to move on. Now, how do you go from a 56-year president that's leaving office Friday to a 77-year-old man? I don't care how great Trump is, but what I'm saying is young people who are listening to this show, we need to look at new leaders. And I'm going to give you some that you need to think about.
Well, young people wanted an 80-year-old man.
Well, that's because that 80-year-old man is anti-establishment. He was going to just destroy the whole thing if you see the thing.
Yeah, then he turned around and sucked up to Hillary Clinton.
Well, you got to play the game. You just got to do what you got to do. Well, the thing is, when it was found out, and, like I said, I'm a political planner. I could care less. I know what's going on. Look at all the cheating that the Democratic Party did to make him do what he got to do. And he was getting so much momentum, they made a deal with him, and then he said, okay, I'll back off, whatever.
Well, the way I heard it was that they threatened his wife.
I wouldn't doubt that, because the Democratic Party is no different than the Republican Party. They're the same party. It's just, when did the Democrats become corporate lobbyists? They just take our money. Donald Trump took a populist message. I'm like you, I'm for the people. I'm going to change Washington. That's what Democrats were doing for years. Then he takes that message, and Hillary was like, what kind of slogan is I'm with her? What kind of slogan is that? You like that?
Yeah, I'm with her.
Well, yeah, but
it's like she's just making her only credential as being a woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's one of the reasons why she lost. Donald Trump's thing was make America great again.
Right.
But I'm with her.
To me, just translates to make America white again.
Well, and
racist again.
Well, if
and
that's
slavery again.
But guess what?
Again.
But guess what? He won.
Right.
Won.
Because people do want to make
America
white again.
Attorney General that's not going to do that.
Right. Well, yeah, Jeff Sessions. Everybody has their opinions, but what I'm saying, the funny thing at a local level, Do you guys see what we're doing now? Here's some of the names. We need to get rid of these Radine Ayers, all Victoria Bacchus, all these people that have screwed up this city over the years. So here's some of the names you need to think about. Jaime Moreno, Jerry Mercado, Edgar Garcia. These guys are young. They have been there. They're involved, and they're willing to put themselves out there. Now, I'm only 26 for the 20th time. Okay.
I can think of a couple people that haven't put themselves out there, and I guess I should name their names on air.
Well, it's up to you. I mean,
it is internet radio.
Yes,
and you have
just make sure they don't know where you live. Okay, so
you are protected by Amendment 1.
But Amendment 1 doesn't stop somebody from knocking on your door and beating you up. So, but these are the things that we got to start doing. I'm only 26 for the 20th time. And to a lot of people, that's young. But to me, I think it's old. I mean, I think people Max, you're fairly young, but
and
still.
I like the 40s.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I think there's a balance between being young and having a degree of life experience.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Yeah, if you're in your middle 30s, the people that are buying houses and starting their families are the people in your 30s. And those are the people that should be making the decisions, in my opinion, for this city.
I don't think a man who's 70.
Yeah, I mean, if you're 70, and I love Pete. I love the way he goes out, but see, he gets a lot of his experience over the years that he's been here, and things have changed, and he's watched it, he's witnessed it. This is my 4th year in this city. 40 years.
It'll be my 30th come
30th
spring.
Right, and we're not going there. We've seen there, we've done it. Daryl, you've been here over 20 years.
Yeah, I've been here since 88.
Right, so you've seen it and done it. And the thing is, we got to start gearing these new leaders.
I've been here for 24 years.
You're in Riverside. You haven't been here for 24
I was here
in the Inland
for 18
Empire.
years, though.
Right,
for 18 years, I was in Mobile.
Yes, okay. But where did you graduate?
Jacob!
Okay, there you go. So that's a question we have to, start thinking about, looking at these new names. Now, if they do appoint, because the next city council meeting, it's either they're going to appoint right there, which I think is going to happen. They're going to try to force this down people's throat. What do you think is going to happen?
I think there's going to be quite a big backlash, and I think it'll cost. They may do it, but I think it'll cost them a lot of popularity and ability to influence people's future decisions, and
possibly trigger threats of recall.
Well, that's already been rumored on social media.
Yeah, it's been rumored. I met with Councilman Gaiba earlier in the week. He's been sick. He filled me in on a lot of things that is going on. Now, here's another stupid decision. Here's a guy that was on the board, all these boards. He was next to be the chairman of the JPA and all this other stuff like that. And out of personal vendetta and immaturity, Gutierrez pulls this man off of it. And puts himself on it. This guy doesn't even attend meetings. He doesn't even attend meetings.
Gutierrez didn't even make any attempt to hide the fact that it was a personal vendetta. He specifically said that
he doesn't want to go with my agenda.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he supposed to?
No, he's supposed to think for himself.
Think for himself and think for his district. What's best for his district?
And like I said a couple weeks ago, I used the example of emotionally what I would like it to see in the federal government, where it would be a Republican president, 100% Democrat, 100% Republican, and the Senate, and 100% Republican Congress and loaded courts.
Right.
But the thing is that if that happened, there would be no one to say, hey, wait a minute, what about this, and this?
Right.
And the end result is when you have a bunch of people saying, me too, me too, me
right,
too.
There's no checks and balance.
Yeah, you're going to end up with some unusual decisions.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds really horrible.
I know, but that's
100% anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm using this example that, maybe that would seem like awesome at first, but then you got to think about it, that you do need someone to say, hey, wait a minute.
Right. Let's think about this.
Yeah.
What we're going to do. I mean, if you look at some of his appointments, you see that one lady that's for the Department of Education, Al Franken asked her, you've never been in the public schools, you've been donating to this, that, what's your background, whatever. And she was just like, duh. I mean, if you don't have a background in it, she had enough time to educate herself on some of the questions. And, these are billionaires.
I'm not so sure about her. I do like Mattis, Carson, and Sessions, though.
Right. But what I'm saying is, here are people that have billions of dollars, and they're ignorant as fuck. That's what scares me. So, but Mighty Max,
Yes.
what do you have for us in regards to health? What are you doing right now in regards to getting all these extra pounds? Now we're gearing towards spring and things like that. So what is your recommendation?
Personally, I'm about to beef it up. Okay?
Yeah, you're getting a little too skinny for me.
I am very slender
and that's
now.
because under stress with this man and that you need to leave him.
No, it's because you know what? I like to play with my body so I can just show people.
This is a family show, so I'm not sure where she was going with that, but
so I can show people what
Okay.
the products can do, right? So,
where's my product, damn it?
you're gonna have it as soon as you pay me,
Right.
Because
Yeah, she wants her money up front.
Well, here's the deal: like you,
Hook a brother up.
anything you purchase, and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
We'll talk about Herbalife as a company today
Yes.
and the movements we're making. So, people who have negative thoughts about the prior business adventures they've done with maybe an Herbalife distributor or what they've heard through the news last year or anything. But right now, personally, I'm going to be gaining anywhere from 7 to 15 pounds of solid
15. Do 15.
juiciness.
Yes, do 15. Do 15.
I'm at 150. That's like the starting point.
No, you need to get back to 160. Oh my God.
I'm probably going to hit that 160, 162 marker.
Right.
The 165 just puts my waist a little bit heavier than I'd like it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, even though if I cleaned up my eating, it could be even slimmer. So I'm going to do that.
I had a question for you
Yes.
about cleaning up eating.
Yes.
I need to make some changes to my diet, and right now the hard thing for me is breakfast. And,
You got to have breakfast.
yeah, I know. Well, I that's the thing is
He wants a shake.
well, not necessarily Herbalife, but just a meal. But the thing is that I've been eating a lot of waffles for breakfast, and my doctor has said that's got to stop.
Yeah, a lot of carbo. That's a lot of carbo.
Yeah, a lot of people actually do that for breakfast, and the issue is you've got a high carb but low nutrients breakfast.
Yeah, I think and I know why people do it, and I know why I do it. It's that it's a bunker food that doesn't require a lot of cooking, and you can just like grab it and eat it. But
And then you feel full for hours.
yeah, and if you want to if you want to feel full, then you have to double up. But the thing is that what I'm having trouble with is coming up with a very fast, very lean, like less 1% or less fat meat to add to my breakfast.
Okay, so I will give you an option outside of a shake. I always tell people who are looking for a healthy, quick breakfast option to roll with a meal replacement shake. The number one nutrition meal replacement shake in the world is Herbalife. There's plenty of other options out on the market. But if you're looking for something quick and easy to do, you can do like eggs in a mason jar. And you can put them in there at night. So just like 2 egg whites with ground turkey. And ground turkey you've already cooked like in the beginning of the week for the meal prep. And you just put it in the microwave. You warm it up for 1.5 to 2 minutes, depending on the power of your microwave. You can throw some spinach in there, some hot sauce, mason jar. You can eat it on the go. You're good to go.
Oh,
Sounds good.
yeah.
That sounds really good. That sounds really good.
If you use beef and some bell peppers, it'd be almost
I
like machado.
suggest no beef, personally. If you're going to be beefing your diet, it should be rare. And, when you're looking for that, like, hamburger, when you're looking for something that's, like, something you're not going to eat every day, especially if you're looking for a lean protein. Beef is nowhere on any of my meal plans for my people. But chicken, fish, tuna, and ground turkey.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking that lean beef would be an improvement over waffles. To start
Yes,
Yeah, start
that is
with.
a good
Absolutely.
direction
Absolutely.
to go in.
Absolutely.
But, Herbalife is making some strides, guys. So first off, if you're interested in gaining more energy, losing some weight, dropping some body fat, gaining some lean muscle, maybe you need some heart health, digestive health, kids health, skin care, hair care, anything you need, Herbalife has it, right? But we have shifted gears. So we've got 2 different memberships. One for people who are like me looking to build a massive impact in their community, and another membership for people who just love the products and they'd like to get an instant discount on it. Okay. So, the discount ranges. There's no tie to the business. It's simply, hey, I absolutely love these shakes. I want to have one for the rest of my life for breakfast when I'm not having waffles with my family because
Right.
we do, like, my mother loves to cook breakfast, so we have waffles once a week if I'm home.
Right.
And so you can sign up with your local Herbalife distributor. I'm
There
just
you go.
Maxing.
Just
you can
Maxing.
follow me at Just Maxing on Instagram, or anyone who you personally know. We've got a loyalty program coming out with just a bunch of different gifts that you'll get for sticking and achieving your own goals that you set for yourself.
Right. Now on Facebook, you have a Facebook page.
Yes,
What's
my
it called?
Facebook page is Max Thomas, MAXXTHOMAS.
Okay, because what I want to do with you, we know, but never mind. What I want to do for you, that's a better word, is as you're giving these tips, and that's what I want to talk to you about. You're going to start doing your own show on a regular basis, so you can get out there, and even when you're out there working out, I want to go out and do some filming so that we can put that on your page and add it to our show. Because we want to get the information out there. Because we want people healthy. Because if you're going to work in a warehouse,
Right.
I mean,
You need the
golly,
energy.
yeah, you need the energy, and those guys get so destroyed in there. I mean, they don't even ever want to go back.
Right.
And they got to be really careful about budgeting too. So they're going to need some creative ways to make their food go.
Right, because at $7 an hour or minimum wage, $9 an hour,
And you know what?
that's a lot of peanut butter sandwiches.
Here's the deal. Just like a financial tip for eating, right? The average person is eating out once a day. If you just really think to yourself, like, dang, what did I eat today? You probably stopped for coffee and a donut or a breakfast sandwich, or you grabbed a quick lunch to go. It's usually anywhere from $7 to $10 for one meal.
Right, one meal.
Right? I'm not allowed to talk prices publicly, but I will let you know that my basic program is less than $10 a day for a full month supply.
Wait, then why are you charging me $1,000?
No,
for
you're getting beefy, baby.
Oh, okay, there you go.
You're
Okay,
getting
that's
the
right.
post recovery, which is the Herbalife 24 line.
Gotcha.
Which is we can talk Rebuild Strength is an absolutely amazing product. I actually just had a client in Florida try it out finally after a year of suggesting it to him, right? And he said, "Oh my gosh, this is absolutely delicious, right?
Okay.
Right? It tastes like chocolate milk, but also I said, "Well, what's your favorite part?" He was like, "The recovery time is way quicker." And that's because a lot of people will do the BCAAs and the triamine over there, and they'll get this over here and they'll get this over there, and then they have 6 different products from 6 different people that
and
may not necessarily
they're in the
work together.
toilet all day long.
Right. Well, Herbalife has one shake for post recovery.
That's what I need.
That is going to help you not only like feel better recovering, but also put on the lean
weight.
mass.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
anything for anyone from ages 3 months to when you roll over.
Right, because I'm telling you, whenever I go to the store, I see a lot of these mothers buying top ramen.
Yeah,
And
I think it's crazy what people feed their kids, but it's just because what they ate.
It's what they ate in economics.
What they can afford, right?
Exactly.
Well, I heard,
If a shake is $2 a day,
I saw an article recently that with people that receive EBT, their biggest food expense is soda.
Yeah.
that is the devil. So is Chick-fil-A lemonade. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Okay.
That's my weakness, guys.
Okay. Well, we're going to hear a little bit more from Max, and she's going to give us our thing. Because, like I said, I really appreciate you giving us these health tips because people need to hear it. You know, if they don't hear it, they don't know.
Right, and people don't like to talk about it.
Right. Exactly.
It's like talking about like wanting to get rich.
Right. But you know, I'm 300 pounds, and I'm still pissed off because I can't lose the weight.
Right, but you can't lose the weight because you're still eating waffles for breakfast.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
come on.
Right.
A lot of people won't admit it. Like
Right.
I was to the point where I was like, no more. And I wasn't even super heavy. My heaviest was 205. People tell me they like me better there. People
No, 160.
165 is Donovan's favorite, right? But it's just like I was to the point where I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, don't stop now.
Right. It's
not gonna be any
easier. Right.
And it's not gonna stop because once you get to a certain point, you're just like, fuck
when
it.
when you get to a certain age, your metabolism slows down.
Slow it down.
And
we have a metabolism booster.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That.
So, Daryl, Mr. Moreno Valley, you got anything announcement-wise you want to talk about? Or
Well, I saw something on what's interesting, the LA Times. I think it was what the city council is proposing to do is to draft a new law that will prohibit donations from development companies and their principals.
Yes, I put that up on the site.
Yeah. I think that's interesting, but that
ain't gonna happen here.
Well, yeah, it's a pipe dream, but but the thing is, you have to put those ideas out to people because, like again, I always talk about hope, but that's a hopeful thing, but will it ever happen? Probably not.
Well, what they'll do is they'll, instead of even calling themselves a development company, they'll call themselves like a landlord company or something.
Right.
Like
Or
that.
I'm a
Construction company.
right.
Or,
I'm a sculptor, or whatever, speculator.
I mean, that's the kind of things people, because like you were saying though, it's people are not talking about. Only person, Scott Heffernan was talking about ethics committee,
Right.
But the things that must be done is not going to happen through the council. That's for sure. But if you had the money to put or to start something where you could start banning these things at the ballot. I mean, at the ballot box. But I mean, that's the only way you can probably do it because it won't happen.
Would Gutierrez and Baca be able to appoint an ethics committee?
Let's see. To make this city grow, you need 3 votes. That's all it takes to run this city is 3 votes on that council.
Yeah.
And if you got those 3 votes, you can pretty much do whatever you like.
Well, that's the thing is, I mean, it's just like you were saying before about the apathy and everything else. But see, this appointment issue will probably wake people if it hasn't woken them up yet.
Well, after the disaster of the last appointment
Yes.
to get us this idiot that we have now, and then we're talking about the ballot, right?
Yes.
Right now at the FPPC, there is an investigation going on to ballot tampering here in Moreno Valley. How do I know that?
I'm guessing you filed it.
I could have. Possibly. Maybe. Now, one thing about this show, what I love about this show is we don't bluff. When we say we do something, we put the documents up. Am I correct? The documents are there.
Yeah.
If I say there's a court case against Victoria Baca or somebody, it's usually there. I mean, so.
But I'm thinking, because what I was asking that question, because, I mean, we could have an ethics committee, but if Gutierrez has a say in it, then they could load it up with people like Chris Baca,
Right.
Luis Palomiras,
Right.
and other less, well, I guess people that just say that people I wouldn't want to keep company with.
Well, and the funny thing that you keep bringing up Chris Baca, I've been asking Chris and bothering him. I know blood is thicker than water, but he keeps alleging to, he was a person that was out there doing the groundwork, and he keeps alleging to a infrastructure bond that's going to be at least $800 million. And I've asked him to come on the show, or at least, let's meet somewhere. And, I made Max to videotape at a distance from the car or something in case I get beat up.
I'm super stalker.
Right. So, but he's alleging to something that's very, like I said, I don't know what his relationship with his sister is currently, but him and another question, Daryl, real quick. Didn't Jesse Molina say if this developer doesn't do what he's supposed to do, that he's going to be there
And he ain't
holding him?
Well, yeah.
We haven't seen him.
I haven't. Oh. Well, that's a thing that during times of campaigns or people say a lot of things,
Right.
But they sometimes don't come through on their.
He's just going on with his
announcements.
life, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying because he's done and everything else. But one of the things he can do is come back, and when I mean come back is to put out what he was talking about, what he was alleging, and bring it to the forefront.
Or go to the district attorney and tell us how it works.
Because if you don't, it's always going to be left out there. There's allegation that don't have any substance behind it. Because you can say these things, okay, where's the proof, or what are you talking about?
Right.
Well, you're just leaving it out there without. Here's what I was talking about.
Right, but publicly he said at the end of the WLC wars, he was saying, what's the last thing he said? We are going to hold this developer to his word.
Well, yeah, people should be held to what they say they're going to do. If they promise you something, then they need to
fulfill that promise.
Fulfill it. And that was the whole thing about the local hire ordinance, hire Moval.
Right, your ordinance.
Well, that was the whole purpose of it, because the fact is that it was far too long. We've been helping these people, entities, to bring in jobs.
Right, come into our city at a low rate, low taxing, incentive.
Yeah, and
that's how the city got into the financial mess in the mid-'90s in the first place, is that they were discounting the taxes by tens of millions.
We've given away millions of dollars
and got nothing in return. The city was basically founded as a giant racket for developers. I mean, back in '84, there were developers dumped $120,000 into a city of 45,000 people.
Yeah, 45,000 people. I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
And developers, they were talking about cityhood since '76, but it didn't fly until the developers liked the idea of it, and it suited them.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
right now, for the last 30 years, or 3 years or so, mental math isn't that great, but anyways, we have a city that was built by developers for developers, basically, and they've done whatever they wanted. They built whatever they felt they could turn a buck on, and it didn't really matter what it was as long as they turned a buck.
Because there wasn't enough rich people who can push back against them. I mean, when you bring in people from LA who come from Compton, Linwood, and stuff, and I used to live in Linwood back in the I think 72 when the Vietnam War was going on. We had people in Linwood, and these people coming out here. I worked at Taco Bell. You never worked at all. And
yeah, but I made a little list or not so little list of things that they wanted to do.
Okay,
there was a Cal West Bank that was supposed to be to build their big headquarters here. They wanted to build a giant incinerator on the east end of town. And then they also wanted to build a freight airport on the east end of town, and I'll get back to those two things later. Okay. We built the mall, which was probably the biggest disaster the city ever did.
Shittiest mall ever.
And we replaced a raceway that brought all kinds of
movie deals, all kinds of stuff.
And famous race car drivers and all kinds of big events that were world renowned. And we got rid of that for that stupid mall. Then we had the severe recession, which was the beginning of the empty strip malls that we still have today. I'm still not sure what was up with the plan to build a new Branson, like a repeat of Branson, Missouri, but a little version for make this like a country western hub.
Right.
But the thing is that it's good that didn't happen because Branson, Missouri is in dire financial straits right now too.
Currently, that's right.
It was a dull period with construction, but then we have Marina Islands that we're going to call the New Palm Springs, as if people would want to come to the New Palm Springs with a ghetto right next to it, as opposed to driving 30 miles and going to the regular Palm Springs that has a good reputation.
Right, exactly.
Then we have Skechers, which so far has cost us jobs rather than created jobs. Aquabella and the hospital that no one could afford because private insurance isn't going to cover the type of holistic treatments and whatnot that he wants to do there, and forget about getting Medi-Cal to cover that.
Right.
We had the warehouse explosion in the South, which made lots of those temporary minimum wage jobs that need lots of Section 8 housing. We had the World Logistics Center come up, and then we had the more practical Prologis warehouses that they full on rigged the city council policies against. Right. We have the JPA, and right now
they're trying to dismantle it.
Gutierrez has put Victoria Baca on the JPA committee,
who doesn't give a damn about the military.
Well, furthermore, Victoria Baca tried to sue the JPA to stop their project in favor of the Aquabella Wellness Center, which is a complete joke.
Right. Wait. Hold that thought real quick. We got to pay some bills. We're going to be coming back, but before we go, on Monday, January 23rd, we're going to have the Gap Gals Ministry Unite, Living Life with a Purpose and Vision, and that's going to be Monday, January 23rd, and it's going to be a great situation. Guest speaker is going to be Julie Pearson, founder of the Gap Girls, and that's going to be at Discovery Christian Church. We are going to be right back for the second half. You guys just stand by. Daryl Terrell and Max and Sean 14, they've got a lot more to say about what's going on, and if you guys have not woken up yet, you never will. Donovan Sadiq.